Hello, everyone. Is it working? I think things are working. A big reason that I'm doing this live stream tonight is to make sure that all this new studio stuff that I've got installed and how it all interconnects with BackerKit is working properly. That means audio, video, the stream, my face, the video that just played. Did it have the music? Let me know in the chat if you can. I see that a bunch of you are watching on different platforms, which is awesome. We're streaming live to like 5 different platforms for the first time ever. So, welcome. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for jumping on. Yeah, if you could, in whatever platform you're in, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, just post in the chat really quick. Let me know that you can hear me okay. Let me know that the video's coming through, and I'm going to be sharing my desktop screen for part of this, so I want to make sure that that's all working because we have a lot of cool live streams planned for this project. Tonight is really kind of the beginning of a much broader set of streams that we're going to be doing. So hopefully some of you can comment on that. So thanks for everyone who is joining. I see that we have people, across everything: Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. And we have 3 different Facebook groups that we're posting in simultaneously. So wicked cool, newfangled technologies and such. Another thing that I played with, I just put up this big banner behind me because the last time I did a live stream from this seat, which is in front of my kind of work desk area where I have multiple monitors, so it's really convenient. It just did not work because there was this giant light and it created this huge halo. But I think blocking it the way I did there with the banner should hopefully work well. So again, let me know what you think in the comments. So we are, what is this, February 20th. We're a few weeks away from launching our next campaign for Widget's Workshop. So Widget's Workshop is it's in the Dungeon Drop universe, and it is, for the first time in 4 years, it's a new drop style game. Drop style, of course, the phrase that we came up with to define the concept of a game that has a dropping mechanic. Obviously, we initiated that with Dungeon Drop and then subsequently Drop Drive. Drop Drive was 4 years ago, folks. I can't believe how long it's been. So looking forward to telling you more. Wanted to unveil some stuff, want to show you some stuff. But also, so up front, want to talk about why BackerKit. Many of you who have been with us right along, we have traditionally launched our projects on Kickstarter, and we're certainly not going to stop that. BackerKit is so you're familiar with BackerKit already, presumably, because it's also a pledge manager. It's the pledge manager that we and many, many other publishers use after a Kickstarter campaign. That's where you would go to fill in your address information, pay for your shipping and taxes, and ultimately get your final product fulfilled through that channel. BackerKit kind of manages all that post-campaign stuff. Well, BackerKit is also a crowdfunding platform as of a couple years ago. So essentially, them, GameFound, and Kickstarter are all pretty much in competition. We are, by the way, I'm not noticing comments in this area, which is unfortunate. Maybe I have to hit overlay. Nope, I don't have to hit overlay. Well, I may not be able to see comments live for some reason, but it is what it is. Learning. So anyway, I hope I'm coming through all right. I'll find out afterwards because I'm sure many of you will tell me. So BackerKit is also now a crowdfunding platform, just like Kickstarter and GameFound. Do they have the same audience built in that Kickstarter has? No. But they are trying different things to innovate in the space. GameFound is as well, and we love them and their platform just as much. But in this case, BackerKit is doing this thing called Pocketopia, which is perfect for this game, for Widget's Workshop. Widget's Workshop is in a really small box size. It's very portable. It's actually going to be the same box size as Obelisk, if any of you already have Obelisk. And so Pocketopia, BackerKit's program that they're running, is all about portable small box games, tabletop games. And what's happened is they've rallied a whole bunch of publishers together to all launch on the exact same day, March 13th. And all are portable backpack, I think is one of the phrases that they use, backpack quality board games or card games. So for us, with a game like this that normally you wouldn't do a big like Kickstarter campaign, this is kind of perfect. And come to find out, we're not the only ones that think so, because I think they have upwards of 70 different publishers all participating in this Pocketopia. So I long to see what all the other projects are, just like many of you, I'm sure. So it'll be fun. But that's why we're doing it on BackerKit, and we're really excited. They bring a lot of interesting things to the platform that we don't have access to on Kickstarter. So there's other perks, like this live streaming, for example, right now should be streaming also to our teaser page, where you sign up if you want to be notified the day we launch. That teaser page is now like they call it a launch party. And this live stream should be literally embedded right on that page. That's not something we can do, or at least I haven't found out how, on Kickstarter. So and other perks and things like that. Also, the collaboration aspect, where publishers are encouraged to find a partner, another publisher that's also in Pocketopia, and collaborate to the point where we jointly have freebies if backers back our game, Widgets Workshop, and our partner's game. You can get both from both companies. You'll get a freebie, a promo card, or whatever the freebie happens to be. And we have such a partner. Very proud that we are working once again with Quinn from his game is called Super Battlemon, which he's had various versions of on Kickstarter in the past, and we'll have more modules on in the future. It's like a very, very small TCG. By very small, I mean like you get a booster pack, but you only need 7 cards. That's a deck, 7 cards. Any 7 cards, I guess. You can just shuffle your entire, however many you have, just take 7 cards out. That's your battle deck, and then you just duke it out with somebody. Very fast kind of battles, card game battles. Anyway, that game is the game that we are now partnered with for this campaign. And if you back Super Battlemon and Widgets Workshop, we will each give you a promo that's essentially a crossover. So in our case, we have a special card. So by the way, here's what our cards look like. We're going to be talking more about the cards, but this is our prototype. You can see it's that custom gear shape with a transparent center. So there'll be a card called Pandemonium, which is kind of like an ether spirit coming out of Pandora's box kind of thing. And we'll treat it as an accessory, which you'll learn more about, because we're going to have accessories in Widgets Workshop. That will be an accessory that you can add to a construct, which will add a bunch of wild symbols, but also at a cost. In any case, that's like the promo thing that we're doing, and it's his artwork. It's from his game that we're putting onto the promo card for our game. And then likewise, he's using our Gollum character, Widget, in his game. Anyway, a lot of fun there. Really cool perks that BackerKit gives us. Picnic, hey, welcome. I am seeing apparently your chat, so thank you that I can see that. I don't know if there's others that I'm not seeing. So Picnic, I'm at least seeing yours on whatever channel. I think you're in Twitch. So yeah, let me know if the audio and video is all coming through correctly. That would be great. Thank you. All right. So that's why BackerKit. That's why Pocketopia. March 13th is the launch date. And so, okay, well then what's the project? What's Widgets Workshop? I want to take the opportunity, again, I'm testing all this stuff. So I'm now going to share my screen. I'm going to switch the view. Hopefully I'm now small and my desktop is now big. And I am going to walk you through the launch party screen where we just recently, you probably haven't seen it if you don't refresh it every day, and there's no reason you would. I do, but you might not. But we've recently added to it a bunch of information, and I wanted to walk through that because it'll really help set the stage for what Widgets Workshop's really all about. Okay, so it's a drop style game. You've heard us say that. 2 to 5 players, 30 minutes. Drop style is, I put it in quotes because I don't presume that everyone in the market knows what that is. That's our phrase. We made that phrase. We made it for a reason. So we'll get to that in a second. So it takes the imprecision. Widget's Workshop takes the imprecision of a real world or a spatial game. I'm going to take out the words real world. Of a spatial game and turn that imprecision into the mechanism that makes the game possible. You're going to see that demonstrated in just a moment. Hey, look, there's the live stream and there's Picnic asking if it's all good. Awesome. All right. So hopefully are we getting Inception here where it's like seeing the window within the window? Can I move that? Hold on one second. I don't want to screw anything up, but I also don't. Well, it is what it is. Okay, so ignore the second window down there. So here is Widget's Workshop. This is obviously our box and our neoprene mats. So we do have a set of 5 neoprene mats that are optional additional purchase. Like most games, neoprene mats are a luxury item, not necessary to play the game, but they do organized nicely. You can see that there's 5 spots in 3 different bays. That's what you have to build your different robots and golems. You need a left arm, left leg, right leg, and torso. And you have 3 different bays you can be building in. It also gives you a nice little cheat sheet for your turn order and a cheat sheet for the scoring in the upper right there. So those are available. And let's keep going. So yes, so after 4 years, I can't believe 2001 was when we launched Drop Drive. And so this is really the first time since Drop Drive that we've come back to our roots of what put us on the map. Guys, Dungeon Drop put us on the map, right? And there's so many ironies about that because as you'll learn, this game, I saw and wanted this game before I even knew about Dungeon Drop. But this one was unavailable at the time. And then also the fact that then the next game that Phase Shift was going, my partner and I at the time, Darren, that we were going to launch is my own design called Queen's Quest, which is still sitting in the corner over here because Dungeon Drop ended up taking off. It was just going to be a quick side project. We said, we'll get back to Queen's Quest. And then it just kind of blew up and we've never pulled it back to the front burner. I do intend to someday. But some of the artwork was actually made originally for Queen's Quest. And then we ended up adapting it to Dungeon Drop. Anyway, the history here is kind of fascinating and how we got here. But we did always intend to continue to evolve this drop style line. So, okay, let's stop using that word ad nauseum. What the heck is in it? What is drop style? And the reason that I like to give it this phrase is it's not just, there are games out there. There's a game called Drop It. Literally, it's about dropping stuff. But in this case, Dungeon Drop, Drop Drive, Widgets, and any future games in the line, it's not just that there's something like a lot of dexterity games have things that are dropping. We always try to disassociate ourselves from dexterity games. That is not our focus. It never was, never will be. Drop style for us is it's a game that involves a unique use of mechanisms that have dropping components on the table. Components can be anything. In Dungeon Drop, they're cubes. In Drop Drive, there's all sorts of things. There's asteroids and spaceships and pirates and planets. In Widget's Workshop, they're cards. They're part cards, and you're going to drop them and kind of use. I call it the salad tossing method, where you just kind of like jumble them up, make a big pile on the table, because that's what it's supposed to be. But they're cards, and they have transparency, and they are 2-sided for a reason. So we'll get to more of that. So the dropping mechanism is not just there as a way to randomize the game setup, which clearly it does, right? Really quick and easy. Dump the stuff on the table, play your game, which is awesome that it's that fast. But it's also incorporated into the core gameplay. Every round in Dungeon Drop, you're exploring, you're drawing more cubes from the box and adding them in, it's shaking things up. Drop Drive, stuff is constantly being redropped over the sun. When you're spending resources or you're attacking pirates, you're constantly redropping stuff back into the system. New aliens will come in and drop in. In Widget's Workshop, you're going to be, the dropping creates this mound on the table, this pile of rubble that you're going to be sifting through and drafting cards from. And there are many times when you draft a card that you can't take or you don't want to take, or you're going to swap it with a different one. You're going to toss cards back on the pile. The pile is going to be ever flowing and changing throughout the game. And that spatial arrangement of the pile is the whole point of the game. So this dropping and this spatial environment are so critical to this line, and something that we feel we have a unique angle on. So we will continue to do that. So Widget's Workshop is at its core a drop style game. Second, almost equal, it's a spatial set collection game. All right, so here's a representation, a two-dimensional representation of that pile in the center of the table. Now, keep in mind, there's 80 cards and there's not 80 graphics here, so it'll be even bigger. And what you're doing, you'll notice some of these are lit up and some of them are dark. That's because, again, these cards are two-sided. When you drop them on the table, even before you drop them, you're going to just shuffle the deck of cards in your hand, and you're going to like take half the pile and flip it around and keep shuffling it and flip it and then drop it and make a big mess. And so some cards are face up, some cards are face down. And now that this pile is in the center of the table, what you are trying to do is assemble by drafting cards from this pile, drafting parts. You want to assemble golems and robots that have matching icons. There's all different types of icons. There's the elements of earth, air, fire, and water. You can clearly see those there. There's archetypes. You can have strength-based parts or speed-based. Then there's the makeup of the golem. There's organic and mechanical. So basically that's robot versus golem, right? So there's all these different attributes that make up each of these parts. You are going to be trying to assemble robots that have most of those icons matching. And the more that you can match, the better the score for that particular robot will be. If you get a perfect match, which is possible, right? There's 80 cards, which means there is one of every possible permutation in the game. There are 16, if you will, pure robots and golems. 16. And that's if you take the 4 elements, the 2 archetypes, and the 2 makeups, you multiply that all out, that's 16 pure. And then of the 16, they're broken into 5 parts: left arm, left leg, right leg, torso. And that's what gives you your 80 cards. So you could actually assemble a perfect golem, like Inferno, I think, is the strength-based organic fire golem, right? And if you build Inferno, he would be worth 30 points. And the way that works is if you have all matching element, that's 10 points. If you're missing one, then you only get 5 points. And if you're missing more than one, you don't get any points for that, for the element. Then same thing for strength versus speed. If all match, then you get 10 points or 5 points if you're missing one. And same thing for the other one. So the most you can get is 30 points. And then, of course, you can get all the way down to 0 points if you make a really, really bad one, which doesn't tend to happen. What I loved, we were at Boston Fig demoing this game in their showcase, played this game dozens of times throughout the day, and we ended up giving, we have enamel pins of Widget, and we ended up giving a prize of an enamel pin if you were able to assemble a perfect golem or robot during the day. And I think we gave out about 6 or 7 pins. So it definitely happens, but it's about 1/3 of the time. And I think that's perfect. It's not meant to be that every game you're always going to get perfect robots, because then everyone would always get a perfect score. But you can. It's hard, but you can get it. And there was one game, and only one, that I have seen where someone built 2 in the same game, 2 pure, which was awesome to see. So you're drafting from this pile based on what you can see. And this is the magic of the game. This is what drew me to it 8 years ago when I first saw it. Alex Cutler and I, we go way back, and he showed me this game. I don't know where we were, some local shop maybe, playing games, whatever. He said, "Yeah, let me show you this prototype." And I fell in love with it immediately. We didn't even have Phase Shift at the time, but I knew we were going to embark on something. I said, "I want to sign that game. That should be our first game." And he said, "Oh, I just signed it like 2 weeks ago." And then there's more to that story, and I'm going to save that for when Alex and I do a live stream, which we will do, and you'll learn more about the history there and what happened and how it fast forward 8 years and now we have it. So I'm stoked that we have it. So I fell in love with this because I'm looking at this pile of stuff on the table, and I now have to decide for myself, okay, I'm trying to build a fire robot with strength and if possible, organic. Those are the elements I'm going to go for. I can see that there's a strong fire, something in the middle of the left side there. I don't know what the other part is. Maybe it's the piece I need, maybe it's not. So I could take a chance, and I'm just gonna, I have to use one finger only, and I drag it from the corner. I drag it out of the pile, and it might shift some other things around, and that's cool. That's part of the game. And then see what it is. Was it exactly what I want? Was it almost what I want? Because that's still good. It just might not get me a perfect robot. And then I add it into my bay. If it's a part that I already have, I can replace it and throw the other part back on the pile. It might not have been anything that I want, and then I have a different choice to make. So the other thing you can do is, if you don't see anything that you want in the pile that you're looking at, you're like, nothing there really resonates with the things I'm trying to build. The other alternative is you can take 2 face down, which are those dark gray ones there, and basically take a chance. So you just take any 2 face down ones, flip them, and then whichever one of those 2 you want to keep, you take that, throw the other one back on the pile. There will also be one of the expansion modules is, here it is in my little window. That's the pizza time, the pizza break, Boblin Bites pizza break. So there will be 5 pizza cards that you can add into the mix. And it's kind of like a Hail Mary. I don't know if that's the right phrase. When you don't really have a better turn to take, you can just draft a pizza card if you see one. And essentially it lets you hold, right? So you, on that turn, all you got was a pizza. But then on some subsequent turn, after you've taken your normal turn, you can spend that pizza card that you have, because you just put it to the side, and take an immediate extra turn. So at an opportune moment, when you really see 2 pieces out there that you direly want, you can do that back to back. And you can even spend multiple pizza cards back to back. Interestingly, the whole pizza theme came out because we had a different collaboration partner in the BackerKit program. When we first started, I didn't even know Quinn was doing it with Super Battlemon. But we had a different partner, a game called Pizza Rolls, I believe. And he ended up backing out because he had other plans already on Kickstarter, and you can't run the 2 simultaneous. So he, gracefully backed out. But we had already developed this pizza module, and I'm like, well, this pizza module is too freaking cool. We're still going to do it. We'll just make it a little $5 add-on. Also free to repeat backers. So if you've backed us before, you're just going to get it. Anyway, so that's why that's there. And by the way, Pizza Rolls looks like a really cool game. It is on Kickstarter as we speak. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. And I backed it. So anyway, that's not why we're here today. So that is what we're calling spatial set collection, right? Everything is in a pile, and it's the very imprecision of not quite being able to see, is that the icon I think it is? Is that the part I think it is? I'm going to take the chance. That is the whole game right there. And if that doesn't sound interesting to you, move on, because that's the game. That is what makes this game special. But we went further. In fact, this was not something I thought of, and I don't even think it was something Alex thought of. This is the power of collaboration. We go to a lot of cons. We go to Gen Con every year, PAX Unplugged, Essen, and what's great is we tend to get a big Airbnb, and any of our designers, of which we now have almost a dozen, any of our designers that are there with us helping to demo in the booth, we end up getting a big Airbnb. And so what happens after hours is we are playing each other's prototypes, we're playing games together, whatever, and collaborating, talking about all of each other's different projects, and just helping boost everyone, right? It's awesome. And I think it was Scott, the designer of Dungeon Drop, who said, wouldn't it be cool if all these parts could actually be visually assembled? Because at the time, the prototype was just opaque, cards in a hexagonal shape. And I think it was Scott who came up with this idea of the card crafting. And it is so perfect. And now, of course, I worked with the game crafter to create prototypes. This is not like they do have transparent cards and they have custom cut cards, but they didn't offer the 2 together. So I worked with them in their labs projects to custom make this prototype, and made about a dozen of them to send out to previewers. So really cool to see it in action. And here is, I just assembled this one before. Here's just a little guy I made here called Ruptuk. I'll pull it up again when I'm on the big screen again later on. But I just grabbed any 5 parts that I found. There was a bunch of water and some earth parts there, and assembled them together. And then it also makes a unique name up at the top. And so this guy's name is Ruptuk. Anyway, just seeing that is so cool. Is it essential to the game? No, but it's so freaking cool. And then the name was even further. That was Alex, I believe. At first, it was just about having the art come together. And then he said, well, we could do like letters in specific spots. And if we follow a formula of consonant, vowel, consonant, then we should be able to have an infinite array of names as well, which we do. So yeah, that's the card crafting aspect of the game. All of that with one component, 80 cards. That's it. That is the entire game in the box, plus the rule book. And we have that awesome experience. So that's what Widget's Workshop's all about. Why would you follow us? Well, because you want the game, hopefully, and also because we do have a first 48-hour bonus. If you back in the first day or two, you will be able to get arcane accessories for free. I will tell you a little bit more about that module shortly. And then also, as I mentioned earlier, if you're a repeat backer, you can get Boblin Bites Pizza Break module for free. So we have 2 fun modules. There's a couple images you can see there of the arcane accessories, and there's our fun pizza. All right, so thanks for following. That is the teaser page at the moment. We might add more to it. We'll see. I have much more. Of course, we've got the actual campaign page almost built out at this point. But let's move on. What else do I have on my agenda for today? So that was about Widget's Workshop. The history of the game, I tapped into a little bit, but I also want to save that for when I get on, do a live stream with Alex, which we'll organize pretty soon. Oh, by the way, let me check out the comments here. Okay, Queen's Quest will always be back there. Picnic, it will come to the front burner, I swear. I mean, it's my own game. I really want it to, but yeah. And it's a drop-in game, by the way. It wasn't originally built that way, but it has turned into one. All right, so what can you expect? I'm just going to go back to full screen if I can figure out which screen my mouse is on. There we go. Okay, hey, it's me. Oh, so by the way, first, let me pull up Ruptuk again. Ruptuk. There he is, big screen. Well, of course, now I have a glare problem. Also, the name you can't really read because of the prototype. The letters did not come out the right way. They will be obviously much more readable. Probably just make them black on a very light background. Anyway, that's Ruptuk, my friend who kept me company here. Okay, so what can you expect of this campaign? One thing to not expect is elaborate stretch goals and design contests and things like that. This game's done. I mean, it's a small box game. It is not meant to be an elaborate Kickstarter type project where we have all sorts of crazy stretch goals. We're already doing the cool stuff. The transparent cards, custom cut, box will have spot UV. I mean, I could make up 1 or 2 stretch goals, but that's not the point of this. However, we have many other cool things planned. So I mentioned we're going to be doing some live streams with Alex. We will do a history and kind of general interview. Alex, by the way, Alex Cutler, if you don't know him, super great designer. He has Critter Kitchen that I think just finished at over $1 million on Kickstarter. I'm not Critter Kitchen. A Place for All My Books just finished on Kickstarter, over $1 million. Critter Kitchen, also made over $1 million. And then further back, he made Expansity as well. So great guy, great designer. You'll learn more about him and his inspiration for this game, which, by the way, had nothing to do with robots and golems originally. We will do live plays, couple ways. Alex and I will do a live play. I'm commissioning him. We will do a live play. I will beat him. And we will do that most likely using a tabletop simulator module that we are developing as we speak. So stay tuned for more on that. Unfiltered Gamer, Michael Wright and his crew, they will be doing a live play. We'll get you the date once that is locked in stone, and we'll hook that up to our campaign page. The Board and Barrel, our good friends from over there, Not only will they be doing a how to play video, which they do tremendous with Kyle McCarley. He does an amazing job with those. So we've been working with him on the last few campaigns. He'll do that again, and they'll do a live play with their like 4 or 5 people that they have. Great show, the Boredom Barrel. We'll do some fun polling. So, for example, I mentioned that the name of, I think I said Inferno, right? Is the name of if you get the pure fire golem that's organic and strength based. I think the Ruptuck there, if I had found the rest of the water and they were all of the right kind of strength or speed or whatever, that would have been Riptide, right? So they all have a name that's thematic that also fits the whole letter combination that we need. So we have those starting names. We are happy to entertain other names. So at some point, I'll create the grid. I'll show you the 16 different names that we have as the base. And as long as the letter combinations work, we can swap in and out any of those. If there's better names that are out there that we just haven't thought of, by all means. There are some letter combinations we will avoid. We had at one point, we had one of the fire mechanical robots was going to be called Rocket. Cool name, right? For fire mechanical. Unfortunately, CK being in the middle causes some very unfortunate naming possibilities. We will avoid that. We're family friendly. So anyway, we'll have to use some judgment there, but happy to work with you all and do some polling and stuff like that. And we will, of course, have previews from big name previewers that are out there. Obviously, we got Rado and his crew. We got the Dice Tower. I mentioned Unfiltered Gamer, Slicker Drips in the UK. We've got probably 7 or 8 lined up big name previewers. So we'll have videos, we'll have written content, we'll have a bunch of great quotes, and you can look forward to those coming up. How can you help us? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. There's one you know what? I'm making this simple, right? There's all sorts of ways finding us on this system and that, follow us over there. There's one thing that matters. One, please take the link from the teaser page, the launch party page, take the link in your URL, take the URL from the browser bar, copy and paste it into your own social networks, whether that be Facebook, Twitter, X, Blue Sky, Threads, whatever one you prefer, Instagram, share that link. That is the singular thing that we love more than anything. It's I can post all day long to my existing newsletter and my existing network. I can only do that to so much effect, right? We've already essentially tapped the audience that we have. You all have audiences we don't have. So you sharing is gold. It's more than anything that we can do. So please take that and just be like, hey, this is a cool game that we're checking out. Here's the link. That's all you need to do. They'll see the page. Hopefully they love what they see. They hit sign up to be notified. Please. Thank you. Day one is the other big one. Day one backing. You've heard me if you've been around us in the past. It's a reality, especially for us small publishers. Those day one backers are so crucial. We got to hit our goal. We got to hit it fast, and then it just sets the it sets the pace for the entire campaign. So please, if you're interested in this game, I assume you are since you're here, come back to us on March 13th. Back it right away, and encourage your friends too. So those are the two big things. Share the link. Come to us on day one. So future streams from me. I will probably, on a future stream prior to March 13th, I will probably give you a preview of the full campaign page, top to bottom. I debated doing it tonight, but I thought going through the teaser page was better, and I already had enough content for tonight. But we'll show you pretty much everything we're planning, including the tiers. I think they're pretty set at this point in terms of the how much each of the tiers are going to be. It's going to be a super low price game, lower even than our very first campaign for Dungeon Drop, which was set at $16. I think I reserve the right to alter this, but I really think the base tier for this will be $15. So we will go through that. I will go through the arcane accessories on a follow-up stream. I was going to do that tonight, but I'm going to hold off. We've already covered enough. So we'll do that on a future stream. I'll show you each of the 16 pure robots, and then we'll kind of create the grid for the names, and we'll start to talk about different name options. And lastly, I will explain Play It Forward. I'll quickly explain it now, and I welcome your feedback on this. Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Would you care? Would it be fun? Play it forward. Just the phrase that I came up with for the idea that I mentioned earlier. This campaign doesn't have any real stretch goals. It's not meant to. But our next campaign will. Our next campaign, much later in the year and towards the end of the year, presumably is going to be for a Dungeon Drop and Drop Drive expansion and set of releases, a combined release where there's new content for both games and a whole bunch of cool stuff going on. And normally, especially if you've been around with us during Dungeon Drop, you know we get really into running all sorts of cool design contests and polls and really designing stuff with you. Well, what if we started that now? If we've got this captive audience of however many people, and we don't have those stretch goal type interactions and design things for this game, what if we took the opportunity to engage with you all to start on the things that we know we're going to need to know? We're going to want to have some sense from you. What kind of this type of object might you like to see in the dungeon? How might you think of this particular? I'm trying not to give too much away right now, but that's the idea. Play it forward, right? Let's play that game now for the next campaign. Because it will help inform us about what we do in that next campaign. It'll get you maybe more interested in that future campaign. If you're here, it's because you like Dungeon Drop style games and or drop style games, and this is both, and so will that be. So anyway, it's an idea. I also don't want to distract from Widget's workshop. It's a sensitive balance, and I totally understand that there may be two sides of that coin. But anyway, that's the idea. You all give me your thoughts over chat here or on the teaser page. There's a way, I think, to comment there, at least in the updates section there is. So, and then anything else? What else would you like to see from me? I can stream a lot, and I like it. If I get all the technology figured out, which I think I've done pretty well, I can do this all the time, and I can pull in guests and whatever we want to do. So I look forward to hearing from you. What will excite you and interest you. Until the next time, thank you so much for joining us on this inaugural live stream, about 3 weeks out from launch. Super excited. This game is just so near and dear to my heart. Like I said, I fell in love with this before I even knew Dungeon Drop existed. So this goes back so far. To have finally gotten this to our front burner means so much to me and Alex, of course. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Have an awesome night. Thank you so much for being here with us, and we will talk to you soon while I